Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, after a 3-week hiatus, it's Toku time!
Ow.
That's great.
Wait for it. Alright! It is Toku time with your hosts, Daring Heart Cosplay.
Hi.
Mr. Wade's Cosplay.
Toku slap.
And very special guest from Demon Interviews on YouTube, Mr. Springtrap.
Woo!
Yeah. Alright, so here's the deal, boys and girls, before we really get into the discussions. I want to take a moment to extend a huge thank you to Mr. Tyr Arkamas. As you guys know... Well... Gonna learn today! As you guys know, he was part of the original Toku Time crew, but, as fate would have it, he has secured himself a second job, and we here at Toku Time do not want to hold people back, so when you get a second job, and you wish to spend time with your family and all that, that is important. We believe in priorities. So, without further ado, I want to tell everybody that this was a mutual decision, and he will come back in future episodes. Until then, we are going to have various other guests. Nothing secure yet, but today, our guest is Mr. Springtrap. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know, just like everybody else here, I am a giant tokusatsu nerd. You could be seeing my room. It's a mess. As you said before, I do have a YouTube channel called Demon Interviews, where we do interview people. And, yeah.
Yes, I have actually seen his room, and bro, let me just tell you, man, if you're ever wanting to
You jealous?
if you ever need to declutter, let me know. I will help you get rid of some things.
Well, thank you very much.
I told him I wanted his vault driver. He didn't want to sell it to me.
I want people to want my O's driver as well.
I've
warned him. If any of those belts go missing, I didn't do it.
I just want the splash driver. I just want the splash driver. That's all I want. With the
What I don't have.
Well, those aren't expensive though, really.
They are very.
The
splash driver?
Yeah, they can be.
They're like 70, which isn't that bad.
That's not bad at all.
Look,
They used to be
Or
like
damn, that's
50
bad.
though.
I don't have any money. I have to wait until I make. I have to wait until I make my Power Rangers theme OnlyFans account. But anywho, today's topic is kind of a double thing. It's a round of a fun game called Is It Toku? And a fun-filled discussion of shows inspired by the tokusatsu genre. I think a big one that gets thrown around though is Ben 10 with Way Big being a reference to Ultraman.
Did you see that? Oh my god! There's literally people like mistaking it and going like, "Man, what's this Ultraman guy? He's like copying way."
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh my god!
I've seen a video or two.
I
The
feel
thing
like
that kills me is what the race is called. They're called Toku stars. And as a kid, you're like, okay, what is that?
Oh yeah! Oh my god! As you said that, like I knew the race what they were called. It didn't connect in my head.
Yeah, it doesn't connect till you think about it. Till you actually got into Toku, then you're like, wait a minute.
yeah, because then you're like, wait a gosh darn second.
I recognized that it was Ultraman, but I wasn't really into Ultraman at the time. I'm really not into Ultraman now, honestly. Some of the newer ones I have thought about watching because they look cool, but I never really liked the suits.
Jeet is really good.
I really want to watch the Ultraman that's on Netflix. Daring Heart.
Do it.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Daring Heart has just been adamant about getting me to watch it, so
Dude, it was so good. We saw 7, Ultraman, and Ace in the show. I screamed when Ace came in.
Man.
But I'm not gonna tell you when that happens.
Oh.
Did you see whenever they got a million subscribers on YouTube and Ultraman came out and like thanked them for the freaking gold button or whatever? It's literally like it was like the different generations of like Ultraman like thanking the viewers. It was so cool.
That's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That shows like just how humble, you know, the Japanese are, and you know,
It's one of the oldest tokus.
right. And
Yeah,
not to
for,
mention,
for,
like,
you know,
I think it is.
for us, we would
like
be
what,
like, yeah. For us, it would be like, yeah, of course we got a million followers. Yeah, that's because we're awesome. And then you know you got like
Japan just like thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, just doing like flips.
It's
I
like,
said thank you in like fucking 50 different languages or something crazy. That much, but yeah, it was cool.
And they
it was like,
and they built a Gundam, so you know.
Yeah.
they did.
On.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and get my passport so I can defect from the U.S. and
I already got it.
Join the Japanese as part of their first wave of the Gundam Defense Force.
Oh fuck, please.
I mean, I'm already trying to learn Japanese. Might as well.
Let's go.
I only know a few things.
So Ben 10, Ben 10's way big is
way big.
yeah. It's obviously a reference into Tokusatsu, but this is not by far the first time that this has ever happened.
Also, if you look at Ultimate Way Big, he has some of the same colors as some of the Ultramen as well. I just wanted to point that out.
Yes, he does.
I haven't seen Ultimate, but yeah, now that you say that, I've seen pictures, and yeah, that he does.
He has like the blue and red. He has like extra blue and red on him than normal. So.
Yeah.
I want to point
I
that
want to
out.
say they're gonna try and go for
I'm also Ben 10
Zero
nerd.
with that one.
Yeah.
It's just honestly,
which technically he's got a changer. Do you think about it?
Yeah,
or,
he does technically.
or prefer.
He does. So I guess obviously the question is not is it Toku, because we know what the definition of Toku is, but
You like to tell the audience, so
Well, technically it's live action, so
yeah.
But it's a reference. To
again, there's some Ben 10 live action movies and stuff like
He
that.
could definitely-
So.
yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
He
And
could
also
definitely
just
be
some
called
Kamen Rider manga, and sometimes they're animated as well, like one of the like weird crossovers.
Fair. He could definitely be considered a henshin hero for sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At least that.
So this isn't the first time that we have had Toku inspired shows. There is a show, and I feel like maybe Daring Heart and maybe Wade will probably pick up on this once I name the show. But the series began in 1986, and it was a 5-part mini series, and it ended up turning into like a whole 60 episode series, and it was called The Centurion's Power Extreme.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Gavin?
Gavon.
The three original guys were Max Ray, Jake Rockwell, and Ace McCloud.
Why does it sound so familiar? That sounds so like
they were okay. So essentially it was like action animation cyberpunk, and
I love the sound of that.
And so it was mecha. It was a mecha show in which these guys they would say their catchphrase, and this thing it would be power extreme, and then like the pieces of their mech suit would like attach to these this green, blue, and yellow exosuit that they wore, and that would be the thing. And then of course they would fight bad guys and stuff like that. And, of course, this being coming out in the 80s, we could definitely say it's Toku inspired because freaking, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and even Super Sentai had been out before this show came out. And, of course, this is before we get Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which was our first actual tokusatsu.
Well,
even then, I think we could definitely say that, we've been kind of inspired by the genre.
Yeah, that does make sense.
They showed Jacka and stuff in like California.
Yeah.
It was like a different like
bootleg
version or whatever. It was I think some other show too. But it was like California and especially like Canada and stuff like there's some places where they got some different Toku stuff that like never existed. And then there's stuff like Spectreman.
What?
Some of the really weird, there's some Toku that a lot of people don't even remember or like actually speaking of this while I'm on this subject, because I did that video on my channel or whatever talking about how I'm gonna do like spooky or October Halloween related stuff, Tokusatsu, and then like everybody in the comments they keep going like, "Oh, this from Kamen Rider" or "This from Super Sentai," and that's all they're saying though. It's like all they seem to think Tokusatsu is Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. And there's just so freaking much. There is so much Tokusatsu stuff, and like to the point that there's Tokusatsu stuff that isn't even translated that I can't even watch. So that's one of the reasons why I'm learning Japanese, so I can figure it out.
I'm looking at Spectreman right now, and he looks kind of like
It's crazy.
He looks like a combination of like Ultraman and then
and a monkey.
And the robot
and a monkey.
A robot guy from Doom Patrol.
Yeah, his theme song's the best. Spectreman, he will save the human race. Punching bad guys in the face. It's literally his theme. It's so good.
I love it. So, okay. So we have Power Rangers. Now, after Power Rangers, we did get
Big Bad Beast.
Was VR? I always forget that. What was first, VR Troopers or Big Bad Beetleborgs? Probably VR Troopers.
It was VR Troopers. Yeah, it was VR Troopers.
I never watched VR Troopers. I'm a bad,
I didn't either.
I'm a bad.
VR Troopers was.
It was three different Metal Heroes.
Yeah, Beetleborgs was Metal Heroes using stuff from Metal.
Yeah,
Heroes.
they're B fighters.
Yeah.
B fighter. And then they had the upgrade that was the Beef Fighter.
The different season.
Kabuto. Beef Fighter Kabuto.
Okay, I was gonna say that, and then I was just like, but that's Kamen Rider.
But they had the best. Look. I'm sorry. With all due respect, I love you, Zordon. But come on, they had Jay Leno.
I can't stand it.
Okay, like I'm like very much younger, just so if everybody doesn't know, I'm like all these new things. I'm like writing them down. Like, wait, what?
I will tell you this right now.
Spectreman, that must be a great show. It's not.
I will tell you this: if you try to watch Big Bad Beetleborgs now, you're going to. I was gonna say you are going to. Cringe.
I watched both seasons. I tried to make a Flabber Ranger key.
Oh my god!
I kid you not. I fully tried, but I'm not an artist, so it just looks like a blue and yellow blob.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
on top of a go-on key.
How about this one?
Right.
I got one.
Okay.
A few.
Good.
Has anyone heard of Inframan?
That sounds familiar.
I grew up watching this. It's a kung fu superhero with built-in gadgets and fights against an ancient demon princess. I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and it came out in 1975.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget how I found the movie, but I just got it and I started watching it. And that was actually one of the first Toku things I got into without realizing it.
So then let me ask you this. Drew, Mr.
Yo.
Daring Heart. Is it Toku?
Yeah, actually it is, because he transforms and everything.
Alright then. Fair enough.
And pardon the French on this one, but it's a damn good Toku too.
Aha! Alright, here we go. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
God.
Oh god.
If there was no context, someone showed just a picture of the characters, you would think it was a porn parody.
Oh my
I mean,
god,
he's not
right? Right?
So I'm like, again, like, wait, what is going on here?
You ever seen them? Oh my god,
Sister, I like your tattoos.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, Lord.
Have like a whole conversation about
bad.
something
So the long run, not really the long run, but the too long or TLDR version of it is the fact that, you know, they're these alien teenagers, and they're on the planet Earth, and their tattoos give them the powers, and they kind of transform in a way.
Oh god, I'm looking at
kind of
pictures.
reminds me of Hibiki a little bit.
Everything
Well,
about
not
it,
like tattoos, you know what I mean?
everything really about it is cringy. Like, it's,
Yes, it.
like, you could see what they're trying to go for here, but you're just kind of like, why did it exist? There was like a total of 40 episodes, and it was bad. Like, it's an old show, and then it actually got a DVD release back in 2013. But it was just, it was something else.
It was just one. You're just like, why?
Yeah, but this kind of, it was kind of its own thing in a sense, because they didn't use, unlike Beetleborgs and unlike Power Rangers, they didn't really use
They use Japanese footage.
They didn't use Japanese footage. And another show that didn't do that, and I've been excited to talk about this show.
Is it what I think it is?
It is what you think it is, and we need...
Good!
We're going to have an entire... there's going to be an entire episode based on discussing this show. But the Mystic Knights...
Damn it!
...of Tyrannog!
Tyrannog!
I never watched it.
What?
Oh my god, wait! Dude, come on!
I didn't like grow up with it.
You gotta at least watch one episode. You gotta at least watch the pilot.
I will say this: Mystic Knights. Growing up, you're like, okay, this is kind of cool, but when you go back and watch, you're like, oh god, it's bad.
Yeah, just like
it's horrible. But it's
just like,
it's because it was a. I guess you could. Most of the characters were Scottish, so I don't know if it was like our type or was it this Scottish Toku. I don't know.
Well, no, it's the, like, if you go on Wikipedia, it's an Irish American fantasy adventure. It's based off.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Irish American.
It's based off of Irish mythology, but it's definitely.
Well, yeah.
It was definitely created in the United States. Let's see.
Well, what's funny is, as a fiance
Saban.
told me, Tyrannog is basically the underworld. So, what?
My personal favorite, Angus. Earth
which one was Angus?
beneath me.
Oh, please, forest before me.
Nah. Dude, you got it. Oh man.
You know what's worse? I remember every single one of them.
Garrett is
Fire Within Me.
No, Garrett was Forest Before Me.
No, that's right, Garrett. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see. It was Fire Within Me.
That was Rohan, I believe. Yeah, Rohan.
Water Around Me.
Yeah, Deirdre.
I think that shows the reason they started filming.
No, Ivar was Water Around Me. Deidre was Air Above Me. Angus was
Air Above Me, thank you.
Yeah, air above me. Angus was earth beneath me, and then Garrett was forest before me.
Yeah, here it is.
And he was
Your
kind
powers combined, I
of...
become
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Oh, what do we do?
Yeah.
Let's...
He's a hero.
But what do we want
They
to
used a
classify
freaking
Captain
song
Planet?
lyric.
What do we want to...
Maybe more like a Goku type of thing.
Dude, Nathan!
What?
It's from a song!
What is?
Air above me, earth below me, fire within me, water surround me.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, it's
In
the gravity of us.
They look bad, but we don't care.
The resurrection of the Mystic Knights, except for it's the Hex Girls. Make it happen. I trademarked this idea, so like...
I take it back. It's a book. It's a book.
Hasbro, if you're listening to me and you want to take this idea, we can talk, man. We can talk. I'll give you my...
We also get the rights from Scooby Doo.
My people will talk to your people. Like we'll
And then Scooby Doo's people.
You know, Hasbro's just like, shit, we gotta check out the new podcast, see what's going on. It's like,
all their ideas.
Look, I'm just saying, I will sell you this idea for $1,000 and
that's cheap.
and a ham sandwich and a ham sandwich
And a Powerade.
and a Powerade, yes. A blue power. It better be blue flavor too. Like, don't try to give me red or orange or white. No, I want it
Just
better be a
says
blue
blue.
Powerade.
Excuse you, white was the best flavor.
That's actually incorrect. The cucumber melon one is really good.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's very
It's
fair.
not.
I do have a few of them that at least have like tokusatsu references in them. I don't know if they consider be tokusatsu, but I do have a few that have like a few references to them. If
Go for it.
Yeah.
so the first one is one that you guys might not know. It came out in 2009. This was like my age of stuff. It's called Hot Wheels Battle Force 5.
I remember that.
Was that like after? Was that after World Race when they did the World Race thing?
It might, but it was just something I was thinking of because it was like it has like it.
Exactly, yes.
And I don't have. I promise you, I do have a show where I talk half the time. I know how to speak. It has like 2 seasons with like 26 episodes about in each season. It was like a whole show.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds kind of cool. I like Hot Wheels, and whenever they make.
I remember it was pretty cool. I think
2009.
like they were like the cars were able to combine and stuff like that. Like not into like a Megazord or something, but like
combiners.
like into like different cars and stuff like that. Obviously, it was Hot Wheels' attempt to make people buy their things more, but you know.
There was this, I don't remember what it was called, and I think you were going to bring it up before, Nathan, we were talking about it. Because I see, like, a friend of mine's daughter, right, is a little bit into Power Rangers and stuff, but, like, I went over and she's just like, hey, she's watching a show, it's like Power Rangers, and I'm like, what show that's like Power Rangers? I definitely have to, I know it then, what is it? And then I look, and it's like these 3 different animal, like,
Mini-Force!
But they legit turn into badass looking, like,
dude, and check out Mini-Force X. Like, oh my gosh, it's actually,
that might have been the one I saw.
It's really good. Like, it's really good. And that was because we're about to close up, but that was going to be like one of my honorable mentions was going to be Mini-Force, PJ Masks. Definitely not tokusatsu, but could
more superhero.
Most certainly fall under the Henshin Heroes, because I mean they have changers. I mean, like they're a unit, they're a team. So actually, they could even be considered a Sentai, like
or a squadron, yeah.
Yeah, like it's crazy, but that was Mini-Force and PJ Masks was going to be honorable mentions, and I like shows like that because I feel like it would introduce the next generation into.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool as shit when I saw it, man. The fact that
it's cool, yeah.
I watched the first episode. I was like, okay, this is intriguing. The more I watched, like, damn it, I'm hooked.
Yeah, I need to actually like, really give it a shot, like do some research on it, because I would love to do an entire episode discussing shows
The
like that.
suits.
I've
I'd
seen enough.
cosplay it.
I've seen enough of PJ
I will,
Masks
man, I'm
where
right there
it
with
wouldn't
you,
be a
Wade.
problem. I've seen enough of PJ Masks where I could do an entire episode talking about it. But I need to watch. I need to watch some Mini Force, and so me and Gideon have some homework, I guess.
Before we close out, I got one for you. It's not technically
I do
Toku,
too.
but it's. Does anyone remember Los Luchadores?
Yes.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I remember that, man.
Yeah.
That
I was just
Wolverine
looking up. Like,
knockoff,
it
man.
doesn't count as Toku, but it could be Sentai-ish because they were a team of 3.
I would absolutely.
Is that the one with the flea?
No, that's
Was
that- what
Mucha
was it?
Lucha. That's Mucha Lucha.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, that's God, Mucha Lucha.
Oh, and then there's also some Pokemon were actually based off of Tokusatsu as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Starmie and obviously Tyranitar.
Yeah, obviously.
All from Ultraman mainly, but
a Scavalier.
Yeah.
I think a Scavalier had a bit of a Kamen Rider feel to it with the kind of the way his head was shaped, and then
I'd have to look at it.
and the
By
scarf.
Sharp.
The scarf. By Sharp for
The-
sure.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was
watched
gonna
them
say.
Pokemon,
It
and
would
like they actually
definitely
did
be
go on record saying that they did kind of base some of them off of Tokusatsu a
It
little
would be
bit.
foolish. It would be foolish to think that they didn't. It would be foolish to
Yeah.
think that they didn't. But unfortunately for today, this is going to be a short episode. I apologize to everybody. We're going to do a longer episode, and we're going to try to do bi-weekly episodes. That way, we have more time to prep and come up with ideas. So just please bear with us. But for those who have been watching since day one, thank you guys so much. We love you.
We appreciate it.
all.
You're welcome.
And guys, with that being said, this is officially episode 2 in the books. With our pilot and our episode 1 under our belts now.
For some reason, I thought we were on episode 3.
Well, technically it is.
Well-
Technically it's not. Let me.
Brain fart.
Yeah, let me go ahead and double check real quick. You got me.
I
I'm
I
like
think
the
it's
main.
episode 2.
I'm like the main guy over here, and even I'm just kind of like, wait a second.
Oh man, I get that. I have to double check like
This is
16 times.
officially episode 2. Ha
Okay.
ha.
Because I know most
Trust me, I
things
get
don't
that.
count 0 as an episode, so I was like, wait a second.
Well, I mean,
Man,
it's
I
a
still have a lot of
pilot.
Toku stuff I can run.
It's a pilot, but
Yeah, that works.
so 2 weeks from now we will have our next episode. Daring Heart. This has been Daring Heart cosplay.
Yo.
Mr. Wade's cosplay.
Hello. Or
Mr.
goodbye.
Mr. Mr. Springtrap. And
I'm gonna be here.
me,
Was
of
here.
course, the lesser of the group, Eddie the
The imposter.
The imposter.
I will admit I am very, very sus.
Sus.
But that being said, thank you for watching, for watching, for listening to another fun episode of It's Toku Time. See you guys in 2 weeks. Woo!